Hey, Go Getter, I'm Angela.
And I'm Adam.
We help normal moms and dads chase after their big dreams.
In a modern online world.
All while in the midst of raising kids.
In what we call the family hustle. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Family Hustle with Angela and Adam Parker. We are so glad you guys are here today. Today is something kind of special. This is going to be the first in a short series of episodes that we're going to be talking specifically about social media. And not so much about what to post on social media or even like how to build your business on a specific type of social media. It's more like there are so many channels, social media websites, options out there. How in the world do you know where to spend your focus? How do I decide what platform should I work on? Which ones are the best ones for me? And how can I be effective in those? Angela, why do you think people shouldn't just do all the sites? Give me all the sites. That's the best answer, because that way I won't miss anyone.
Well, and there's a place for content batching. Whenever we have another episode about that, where you can be in multiple places without any extra time. But if you really want to scale your business the right way on social media, you should lean in hard to one and master that one before moving to another platform.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of people, and I'm sure you guys have seen this. If you've ever been following someone, you'll see that they post something on Instagram and they're just using that post to other site option. So then it gets pushed out to Twitter or to Facebook or to LinkedIn or whatever. And you can tell it's basically just a reformatted picture, maybe with a link back to the original. And frankly, that's just kind of lazy. And nobody on the other platforms are going to enjoy following you on that platform. What you're really saying is, well, I care about Instagram, but I don't really care about these other things. So I just throw it out there and maybe it'll do something. And we've all done it.
Yes.
Most of us started there. I'm sure everyone has tried that. And we think, oh, it'll be easier. Or even something like your Hootsuite or something like that, where it lets you post to multiple things. But what we want to talk about is, again, this is going to be over several episodes. So we're going to tackle two of the major platforms today. And we're going to talk about some of the benefits and some of the downsides of each one. And our goal is to give you an idea of what is each site really good for and what is it not good for. And this maybe will help you figure out what is your preferred platform. What do you like doing? Are you more of a picture person or are you a storyteller? Do you do better with long-form communication, or are you good with a really pithy quote? Like you can really say something short and sweet, and you really thrive in that sort of environment. So we're going to go through those. And today we're hitting probably, I can't be sure these are the two biggest ones, but they're some of the,
popular.
They're very popular worldwide. And this is often where you people talk about getting started. So that obviously is Facebook and Instagram. And we'll just go ahead and say the elephant in the room is Facebook does own Instagram.
Yes.
So if you didn't know that, Instagram started off as a separate company. They grew to a certain point, and Facebook bought them because it was a really fast-growing company, and they wanted to share that information. So you'll see ads are really similar on Instagram and Facebook, the way that kind of works. That's another episode talking about ads. But you'll see a lot of relationships between them, link buttons on the two apps. So they're definitely related, but they're not the same. So, Angela, if you're talking to somebody and they're saying, I've started a business, I'm wanting to build audience, I want to build some influence, and I'm curious about Facebook, what are some of those good benefits of Facebook, the good things that I should consider?
Well, Facebook is a established social media, so that means that there's already groups and pages, and it's easy to connect with people in your ideal market, your niche, because it's kind of been around for a while, and so there are bloggers to follow, there are podcasters, there's different authors and different things that you can connect with on Facebook, see what they're doing, learn from them. It says billions of users, so
literally billions of users, and so you will never run out of people to talk to on Facebook. It's also one of those ones that has a lot of different types of posts, so you can make, I'm sure you've seen these long like story posts, like several paragraphs of text, almost like a blog post. You can do that on Facebook, and it's not clunky. It's pretty good about it.
It's easy to read.
It's easy to read.
It's
They're
easy
good
to
with
share.
Photos, videos. They've really leaned into that in recent years. They have the stories concept built into it. So there's a lot of good flexibility. Angela mentioned groups.
that's what I was going to focus on. That is one thing I feel like sets Facebook apart is the connections. And that's actually what they stated in their
mission statement.
So in Facebook's mission statement, they are all about connecting people. And that's what they focus on, is connecting people. And so they've talked about that they wanted to highlight groups and push groups up in the feed algorithm so that you might see more posts from groups. That, you know, they want to connect people who have similar interests. And that's one thing that they're focused on.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the great upsides of Facebook is the integration of their Messenger platform. You know, not everybody likes the Messenger platform. I realize that. Some people prefer texting. Some people want to do other things. But many, many people utilize the Facebook Messenger platform a lot. That's, for many people, that is their go-to option. So it is easy to connect with people there. People are already used to using it. They probably already have it on their phone or on their computer. So if you're reaching out to people, it's odds are that they know how to talk to you, that it's not, and you'll see with some of these other
messages too.
They what?
They check their messages
too.
too.
People check their messages. They've been conditioned to that, similar to their text messages. Like if you're anything like me, I feel really weird when I've got that, the reminder bubble on my phone saying that I have text messages I didn't read. I'm the same way with my Messenger. I'm not about some other sites I use. So we had just made a few things. If your strengths are long text posts, you want to write like almost like mini blogs, but you don't want a separate site. If you're good at videos, if you want to be able to use voice messaging, that's a big thing on Facebook Messenger that's really good. Using that story function and starting those conversations, Facebook is great for that. If you want to have a group, then you should be on Facebook. Yeah, it's the easiest one we found to connect people together. And if you want to get in a public group or a private group where you can connect with people, share concepts, that's better than the feed in a lot of ways, because you can connect directly with people. And Facebook is really leaning into groups right now. You know, you'll probably have noticed that groups you're in are more likely in your feed nowadays, especially when you interact with the group. They realize that that's where a lot of people are finding their connections. So they're really leaning into that. But like everything, Facebook's great. We've just talked about Facebook. Everything has downsides. So one of the big ones is that Facebook's a mature platform. And Facebook has been 2004, I think, is when Facebook was started. So it's 15 years old. Wow, it's a teenager. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got a driver's license, or it's just about to. And you know, if you've watched The Social Network and stuff, the world was pretty different in 2004. And we got married in 2004. Yeah, God, yeah. So you're right. I didn't even think of that. That's so crazy. We'll have to check if Facebook was first, or I think it started in the fall. Oh. Doesn't matter. But it's not growing as quickly. You know, once you reach a few billion people, it's not going to grow as fast. In some of the emerging countries, you know, that where it's more recently launched, it's growing a lot faster. But in the US, most people that are going to be on Facebook are on Facebook. So that's not a problem necessarily, but this is not the fast growing network anymore. It's pretty ubiquitous at this point. You had the note in here about younger users, Angela. What do you think about that with Facebook? So I've heard from so many people, especially teenagers, even young adults who don't have Facebook accounts, and they don't want Facebook accounts. They want to be on another platform because they feel like their mom is on Facebook. Like, oh, that's where my mom is. Even my grandmother, maybe not my grandmother, but there are grandmothers on Facebook, you know, and so a younger generation is not jazzed about using Facebook. Yeah, Facebook in some ways with, you know, your Z generations, because you know they're not millennials really. This is whatever's after that, and I know there's different questions about that. Is they feel like it's almost kind of like we used to think of AOL. Like everybody has it, but I don't really love it, but I kind of feel like I need it because I'm connecting with people, but it's not my preferred platform. So if you're really trying to connect with someone who's in college, who's even in high school, depending on what you're marketing and who you're connecting with, Facebook may not be as effective as other platforms. The big joke we talk about with Facebook is it's great for connecting to, you know, middle-aged moms and dads who have kids who are using Facebook. That to me seems to be the most prevalent user right now. That may just be our stage of life. Who knows? I think we just written on here, there's some things about Facebook uses the term friends. And Facebook was designed around connecting with your friends around your common interests. Now, it can help you with making new friends, but it wasn't really designed as a way to follow and connect with strangers or even brands initially. That was a much later thing that came into Facebook. Like, Facebook was explicitly designed around connecting with your friends and making it able to stay connected, to communicate with them. And so in some ways, you can't really get around that. Realizing that with Facebook, that if you're wanting to grow a wide audience, especially on your personal Facebook account, it's going to be difficult because that's not how Facebook was designed. It's not as easy. And even their business pages are very driven toward advertising because they implemented that branding as a way to pay for Facebook. There's a reason you as a user don't pay for Facebook. It's paid for by all these advertisers who are paying to reach the people on Facebook. So you just need to know that if you're trying to build a brand, you're trying to run a business, Facebook is working against you in some regards because they don't really want you getting a whole bunch of free publicity on their site. They got to pay the bills. And I don't blame them for that. But you just need to know that you may feel frustrated by when you post something, I feel like 8 people saw it.
Yes.
And that is one thing on the business accounts that'll actually show you.
I was going to say, and you're like,
oh
man, only 40 people saw that post. That was so good.
I thought it was a great post. So it's good. It's good. It's immediate feedback, but it can be frustrating. So those are some of those things you need to keep in mind about Facebook. But the other side of this is, Facebook's, cooler, hipper little brother is probably Instagram. And this is one that so many people ask about because it seems like, oh man, Instagram seems like the place to be.
Yeah.
That's like the cool kid brother. Facebook's kind of the nerdy older brother. I don't know if this works, but the whole idea about what are some of those pros about Instagram specifically as compared to Facebook?
So, and let me tell you, I started my Instagram account in 2013. And the only reason I created an Instagram account was because I wanted the filters, because it was a primary platform.
Back when filtering a picture was a big deal, because we all were just getting our smartphone cameras and we really didn't know how to use them. And I wanted it to look better, but I didn't know how.
I didn't have any editing apps, apparently. And I just remember my friend.
Or they were not easy to use.
Or they weren't easy to use. I just remember my friend would share from Instagram to Facebook, and you could see that it was from Instagram, and it was this cool looking picture with a cool filter on it. And I was like, man,
it's got sepia tone.
I want that filter. And so I started my Instagram account in 2013, and then the way that Instagram was set up, you could mirror your followers or friends you already had on Facebook. And so I just did that. So, I started with maybe 200 or so friends, followers, because it's called followers on Instagram. It's not friends. And I just used it for editing my pictures with their filters, and then posting it the same thing on Facebook. And so that's where I started in 2013. So the foundation of Instagram is pictures, is a photo. A picture says 1,000 words, and Instagram was limiting your words. So then they really did want your picture to speak for you. But that is the highlight of Instagram, is their photos.
So it's one of those things that if you love taking photos, that you are a visual communicator, that's something you enjoy, you take good photos, Instagram may be a great choice. Obviously, you can post a picture on Facebook, but Facebook is as much about words as it is about pictures. Instagram is mostly about pictures. Now, you want to write great text, you want to have good captions, but it's almost more like a caption to a photo rather than a statement with a picture. So think about that if you have a great photo, then you can say something in the description. It's almost more like a caption to connect to a next step. But if it's a lousy picture, no one's going to read anything. And I see a lot of people on Instagram who are posting, frankly, pretty bad pictures.
Yes.
And that doesn't make them bad people. But if you don't enjoy learning about photography, and if you have a smartphone but you're not willing to learn how to use it properly, Instagram is going to frustrate you because it is a very visual medium.
And I've seen there's a couple of different things because people don't understand the platform. And so they'll post like screenshots on their, like there's different things like that where it's just like, that's not a photo that is high quality that people enjoy looking at. And yes, you may still get some engagement, but that's not what that platform loves.
And as an example, say a funny meme or a GIF. Like that works well on Facebook. It doesn't really work on Instagram.
Right.
Like, a meme as a picture on your Instagram feed usually doesn't go anywhere because it's out of context. It doesn't really work in the same way. It's tied up in the algorithm. It just doesn't work really well. But one thing Instagram is really good about is Instagram is primarily an open network. So sort of the opposite of Facebook. Facebook is ultimately a closed network where you friend request people. And if they agree to be your friend, now you're friends and you can see each other's material. Instagram defaults to public, which means that I'm going to post and I'm making my information public, and anybody who wants to see it can see it. And if I find someone I'm interested in seeing what they're doing, I can follow them and I can see it, and they don't have to approve me. We don't have to be friends. That's why Instagram is going to be more popular, especially at first, with your celebrities, with your brands, with your actors, people that are likely to have a bigger following than they would a bigger friend circle. And this is good for you as a brand. Is if you want to get on Instagram, you take great pictures, you want to build that, you can build that network of people that you don't know, that you've never met, that likes your pictures, likes what you're talking about. I think that's easier on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we have some exercises using hashtags, hash browns, if you've been watching Cobra Kai. Use one of them hash browns, Team Cobra Kai. But you can use that with location. You can use that with interest. That may be another episode we talk about.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think
that's a little more detail. We may get
more
into that.
Detailed into each of these. But what I do like about Instagram is that it is, a way to connect with people based on interest. Not so much that you're connected to people because you're friends of friends. That's Facebook. Instagram is interest-based. So whenever I first started building my business on Instagram, I fell in love with the idea of searching for hashtags that I was interested in, and I could find all these people who were also interested in this same topic. And so I could start up a conversation with them because I saw a picture that they posted and it was hashtagged with, something that we were both interested in. And so it was easy to connect with people based on interest, which I feel can sometimes go deeper than just who you're already connected with.
Yeah, especially in the long term. We've been doing this business from home for 5.5 years, and we're obviously well past the friends and family phase of our business. And that's how everyone is. Everyone starts with that friends and family, people that you're already connected with. At some point, you've got to transition, and Instagram can really help you with that. One of the downsides, unfortunately, with Instagram is really good at connecting individuals and running that following thing, but they don't have any group options. They actually have very poor group messaging options.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram only very recently worked out the kinks of their messaging platform. So you can send messages on Instagram. It's only recently have people really started to learn about the messaging option and be able to, oh, that's what that is. I've had so many people I've sent a message to and they never see it because they don't know how to use the messenger feature because it was not initially there. It was added on. And to Facebook's credit, they're good at building things. So when they leaned into, we really want to make Instagram messaging a thing, they really leaned into it. So it's gotten a lot better.
And there's talk about merging Instagram Messenger and Facebook Messenger into one. So they're
and
in
probably WhatsApp and everything.
In the near future, it may be all connected, but right now it is separate. So your messages stay there inside the app. And for the most part, people are reading their messages.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a general overview of those are obviously two of the biggest platforms, and many people start with these. But hopefully this will give you some direction on which platform you might want to try. Now, we have actually tried to save you some time and put together a fairly detailed resource all about social media getting started, what programs to use, and way more than just these two, because we're going to be doing some subsequent episodes talking about other platforms. So if this is something that you are wanting to work on, you're a little confused about where I should focus, we have actually made a guide to make this a lot easier for you. So it's asked you a few questions about what you are most interested in, what you like, and it'll help you narrow down your options. So if you go to the show notes, if you go to grassfedmama.com/podcast and click on this episode, we'll have direct links for that guide. It's free. It'll help give you some directions of where to go.
And if you're listening to this right now, tell us where you are. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? What do you like best about those two platforms? How are you seeing, the best benefit to your business? We want to hear from you.
So make sure to tune in to our next episode where we're going to be talking about two other big platforms that often compete with Facebook and Instagram, but are very different animals. And that's YouTube, which obviously is a beast all in of itself, and Pinterest, which is one that is sometimes underutilized and could be a great fit to help you build your business. So make sure you guys tune in next time for that. Thanks for listening to The Family Hustle with Angela and Adam Parker. We appreciate you guys being here.
If you're listening, don't forget to take a screenshot and share it into your stories and tag us at Grass-Fed Mama.
Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your podcast player of choice. That helps other people find out about what we're doing, and it's the best thing you can do to help us grow the podcast.
Hey goal getter, are you ready to stop having to chase after people only to realize they aren't even interested in what you have to offer? You spend months trying to build rapport and get to know them, and then they never seem interested in buying. What if you could attract your ideal customer to you and have them reaching out for more information about your business and what you have to offer? If this sounds like something you want more info on how you can put it into practice, join our Attraction Marketing Bootcamp, where we take 5 days to dig deep into discovering what your ideal customer wants and how you can be the most attractive to them through branding and developing a customer journey. Over the 5 days, you'll have worksheets and videos to guide you through this self-study. To learn more, head on over to grassfedmama.com/attractionmarketing. And now back to the show.